Ready to rock and roll? Okay, so welcome to this class, this online class for the Whole Health Forum, hosted by Genmaisu Rice. Apparently, I don't know if she's around, but anyway, my name is Ignacio. I've been into microbiotics for about 10 years now. And today I thought I would give a class on how to cook plant-based protein. Now the issue of protein in macrobiotics is a bit contentious because some people argue that we should have animal protein or animal sourced protein or plant-based protein. Mainly, there's a lot of people within in macrobiotics who are vegan, but so we all know, some people come from eating a lot of animal food, but not many people know how to actually cook plant-based protein. So there are two different aspects about plant-based protein. On the one hand, we've got beans and pulses, chickpeas, lentils, all those things. And on the other hand, we've got like condensed or very dense protein sources like tofu, seitan, tempeh. What else? Tofu, seitan, tempeh, miso, like soy derived how do you say this? Byproducts from soy, which is very rich in protein. And okay, so today I'm going to be cooking tofu mayonnaise. It's like tofu mayo, which is very simple. We'll have a look at it in a minute. Then marinated tempeh, which obviously I marinated it yesterday. It's basically tempeh which has been marinated in different like hot paprika, cumin, and many different ingredients. And then on the other hand, we've got like seitan rice croquettes. So basically, we've got the three kind of dense plant-based protein sources in if you're plant-based, if you have a plant-based way of eating, or you're vegan, etc., etc. So on the one hand, we're going to start making the seitan rice croquettes. I've got here all the ingredients. I don't know if you can see them, but basically we've got, I've already cooked them. So I cooked them yesterday. So I've got them ready. So I'll in case I can't finish the whole process, I'll show them to you later. Because we don't have much time basically. But basically we've got onion, carrots and rice and seitan. What we do is we're going to, the rice obviously is pre-boiled, and so what we do is we're going to saute the onion on low fire. So we start our fire. I always use gas. I don't like electric stoves or anything. So just wait for this to warm up a little bit. By the way, I live in Zaragoza or Zaragoza in Spain. And last week it was very cold, but now the weather is getting a lot better, a lot warmer. I'm an English teacher, in case you wonder why I have this English British accent. So I was an English teacher for more than 10 years, working mainly in the private sector, teaching English at private companies and things like that, different schools of English. So there you go. I changed careers completely. I'm a dietitian, a Microbiotic Counselor, and cook as well. A couple of weeks ago, I was cooking for a retreat, yoga and macrobiotics retreat. Yeah, going to add a pinch of salt in here. We like our salt, don't we? In macrobiotics, we do like our salt. So, and I've got this grinder. I've got this grinder here to grind the seitan. Seitan is a great plant-based protein source. It's obviously 100% gluten, so it's not suitable for anyone who has gluten intolerance or who's you don't say celiac. You don't say that in English, I don't think.
Celiac.
Celiac. All right. Yeah, I just couldn't put my finger on the correct pronunciation, but celiac. Yeah. Okay. So there you go. Now I'm gonna grind a little bit of tempeh, not much because we don't have much quantities, obviously, because I'm not.
This is seitan, not tempeh.
Yeah, sorry. Did I say tempeh? No, seitan. Yeah, we're making the seitan croquettes right now. Yeah. So once the onion has become a little bit transparent, we can add the carrots. I'm going to put the other camera so that you can see it from above. Right. So we add. I chop the carrots in Tempura style. So there you go. Every time I add more vegetables to the dish, I like to add a little bit more salt. This is something I just I don't know. I just got used to it, and it has stayed with me for some reason or another. Right. So we're just gonna. Oops. There you go. Some seitan in. Lower the fire a little bit. There you go. Oh, this. Okay. No, it doesn't move now.
I wonder if it would work in a cheese grater. Do you think? In a cheese grater?
A cheese grater, yeah, as well. It will work as well. Yeah, that's it. But this is quite, and it's not electric. You don't need gas or electricity. Just the power of your arm. Okay, good. Okay.
I'm assuming you made the seitan. You didn't buy it. Is that
I bought it, yeah, actually, because I didn't have time to make it. And the process of making seitan, the problem is it consumes a lot of water. Or that's my feeling. Okay. And then we just add the rice in here. Is this, well, we're going to let it cook for about 5 minutes on low fire. There you go. And now we will add the seitan in and the rice in, and then we'll chop. In the meantime, I'm going to chop some parsley. You may add, because when you, as regards croquettes and bowls and all that stuff, imagination is just, it's just like creativity. It's just endless, because you can add as many different flavors as you want, as many different, seasonings, flavors, whatever. But parsley is very Mediterranean. We like our Mediterranean food here in Spain. It's very healthy. Garlic and parsley, and then you have a macrobiotic Mediterranean dish. It's very simple. As long as you have parsley and garlic. Also for burgers, vegan burgers, parsley and garlic are come in very, very suitable. Okay. It's getting very good there. How's Ginat doing with her internet problems? Do we know anything? No. Okay, get rid of that. Okay, I'm going to add the rice right now. Reboiled rice. There, so that I want the carrot to soften up, to become a little bit more bendy. Okay, so my ground seitan here is ready. Okay, so I'm gonna. Okay, so the other recipes we've got are tofu mayonnaise and marinated tempeh. Okay, so we're just gonna let that cook for a minute, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about the marinated tempeh, which is here. Okay. Now we've got all the ingredients here. Okay, so I'm gonna add the parsley in so that I don't forget later. Okay. Okay. Now the marinated tempeh, I'm gonna put the other camera so that you can see it from a different perspective. Okay, so this tempeh I have sliced very thinly. It's very thinly sliced, you see, very, very thinly sliced, like pretty much like a carpaccio. Okay, and I marinated it yesterday with a mixture of tamari. We've got some tamari here, tamari sauce. Okay, we've got some cumin as well, like one tablespoon of tamari. Then I didn't have any maple syrup because maple syrup here in Europe is very, very, very expensive, unlike in the States. When I see recipes from the States, you can really tell the author is American because, you know, he or she recommends maple syrup all the time. But over here in Europe, maple syrup is very expensive. So usually what I do is just like use rice syrup or agave syrup or other sorts of like apple concentrate, for example, although that would be a little bit more acid. But yeah, rice syrup, obviously it's in Spanish, sorry about that. And then pepper to taste, a little bit of pepper, also bay leaves and some garlic as well. And I obviously grated the garlic, olive oil. You know, you must always have your olive oil. Smoked paprika. We've got some smoked paprika over here. That's pimentón picante in Spanish. And that's it basically, because then what we do is just oil a pan, which is oil a pan.
Isn't picante sharp? Doesn't that mean sharp?
Say it again.
Picante, you said it was paprika.
Picante is hot.
Hot, yes.
Hot, yeah. Makes your mouth burn. Sorry. Makes your mouth burn. But yeah, I just so I mixed all those ingredients, and so I blended them together, and then I just marinated the tempeh in then in that marinade, and now it's just a matter of you oil a pan. Usually in Microbiotic we don't use a lot of oil. We just brush the frying pan. But here with tempeh is I like to add a little bit more quantity because tempeh kind of absorbs a lot of oil. You know, it likes to be fatty. And obviously this is a very good recipe for people who miss eating meat. You know, or people who have arrived into macrobiotics from a very meat-eating background. So if you crave meat, you want to. Sometimes we miss those kind of flavors or tastes, or not, because you know, in my case, I never had to resort to those kind of things, you know, because you just change your chip kind of thing completely, and you don't need anything that reminds you of the way the way of eating that you had before. But anyway, if you want some, you know, people over your house, you know, they're not macrobiotic, something that you want to impress them, you know, or party cooking, you want to celebrate something, this is very crispy, so it reminds you of kind of bacon. So that would go together very well with salads, or I don't know, like salads and things like that. Yeah. So there you go. That's tempeh bacon for you. So we just put them in gently. The taste is very good. Well, no, not the taste. I haven't tasted it. Tasted them yet. But the smell is very good. I can guarantee you that. Yeah. Anyway, my family, my parents are macrobiotic, but I've got many friends who are not macrobiotic, obviously, and every time they come, I have them round for dinner or lunch. I like to impress them and give them something, you know, that can impress them. Yeah.
Did you influence your parents, or they were macrobiotic first?
I influenced them, yeah, because it's a good story. It was the story of my life, basically. I suffered from a lot of conditions. Especially I had depression, I had all sorts of emotional problems in terms of depression, headaches. I had terrible migraines, and they just disappeared, you know, like out of thin air. They just vanished in a week of just like, obviously I just changed dramatically from one day to another into macrobiotic and a macrobiotic diet. But yeah, and my parents, they saw that and said like, wow, you know, it's like he's been like visiting psychologists all his life, and you know, he's just like changing his diet, like what a change, you know. Like I was feeling a lot. Well, I just wasn't depressed anymore. My sense of humor improved. Everything improved, like emotionally, physically. It was incredible. In a week, like because my migraines prevented me from doing anything, basically, because when you have a migraine, you just want to get into bed and turn the lights off and disappear, you know. Anyway.
Did you have a counselor, Ignacio?
Yeah, I went to a psychologist, and this psychologist.
No, macro counselor.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Huh. This psychologist, which is very weird. I went to this psychologist for therapy, and then the psychologist said to me, okay, but you're going to follow this diet. You're going to go on this diet because in my experience, the emotional work or psychological work works much better eating this way. So he gave me this weekly menu. You know, I went to the shop, you know, everything was new to me, like completely new. Didn't know what seitan was, didn't know what tofu was. I had never actually sauteed a leek in my life ever before. I was eating very poorly, that, you know, to be quite honest, before that. So yeah, but I didn't go to a macrobiotic counselor. That's the funny thing about it. I went to a psychologist, and I didn't know, you know, that. Okay, I wanna use fork to. Well, I need to. They're not done yet, but yeah, we just let them there to fry gently. Okay, our rice is ready. Turn the fire off. Okay, great, fantastic.
Can I ask you what therapy the psychologist used? Was it CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy?
He used EMDR, I think. I think that was. He used kind of tapping. I'm just gonna the other camera. There you go. He used well, repeating different you know, sentences, or he used to tap in here or tap on there.
It's kind of like trauma based, is it not?
Yeah, I think the technique is called EMDR, but I don't know whether that's Spanish or English.
That's English too. Yeah.
All right,
Oh.
and then they ask you to follow with your eyesight, follow the fingers from one side to the other.
Yeah, I desensitization or something of that nature. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a wonderful story.
Mm,
That's a
yeah,
wonderful.
but what helped most was the diet change.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
That really made a huge difference. Huge difference. Yeah. So I'm just going to get rid of this, because this was just to show you the ingredients of the marinade, basically. Yeah. So I'm just going to get rid of that. The tempeh is boiling nicely over here. Probably too much now. Okay. So. Okay. Yeah, that's it. Some of them have burnt a little, but that's live for you. It's being live. And also, men in general, we only have one brain cell, so we can't do two things at a time, unlike women. Anyway, so yeah, that's my. Also, when you fry, tamari sauce tends to get very dark, so it looks like it's burnt, but it's not that burnt. Anyway, right, so I'm going to add this in, the seitan. It doesn't matter. I didn't do it in the pan, because this is just going to go into the oven. So yeah, I like to grind it a little bit. Just to, so that the balls are made. You can shape the balls or the croquettes more easily afterwards. But basically, we just let this cool up. We would turn the oven now. And the other camera. So we would just turn the oven right now to preheat it, and then we would just form the balls and coat them in sesame seeds. So now we've got some sesame seeds here, right? So, and then we would just bake them for about 15 minutes at 180 degrees Celsius. Obviously, you don't use Celsius, do you? In Israel, do you use Celsius or Fahrenheit? Fahrenheit would be like 300 Fahrenheit or 350 Fahrenheit.
350.
350.
350, 350, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna get the tempeh out of there. There you go. Okay. I'm getting burnt now. Okay, good. So, yeah, and we need to make our mayo, and we will be finished, I think. Feel free to ask any questions. At the beginning, when I changed my diet, probably you've experienced the same. I was feeling like a weirdo, and you know, because especially with your family, not my parents, because my parents were always very supportive. But with my extended family, like cousins and all that stuff, because they just wouldn't understand. For example, Christmas, I would have a Christmas dinner or Christmas lunch, and I would just be eating azuki beans with boiled rice, and people were just like, "Wow, what?" Anyway, so yeah, basically, what we do here. Just want to wash my hands again.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yeah.
So how did you get the tempeh after you soaked the tempeh and all of the the things you added to it? How do you get it so dry?
Because it doesn't have any water in it. Just the oil and the other ingredients. You see, because I'll be sending you, or Ginat will be sending you the recipes. You'll see that there isn't much liquid in there, and I also mixed it very well. So it's kind of, I coated all the tempeh slices very well. Yeah.
So it absorbed all the material.
Yeah.
Okay, because usually I have a bunch of liquid left when I try to do something with tempeh.
Yeah, that wouldn't be wrong either. I mean, it's just another way of doing it. But I did that yesterday. So it's been marinating. It's been in the marinade for many hours now. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm gonna put them here. Yeah, so basically this is what you do. It's just with the I usually coat them in sesame seeds, but you don't need to do that. I mean, you could just coat them in whatever, or dip them in chickpea flour or any other, polenta flour. Or are you familiar with polenta? I'm sure you are. Yeah, I'm sure you are.
How many grades of corn grind do you have in Spain? Are there multiple?
Maize. Well, basically just one type of maize. Maize is the American word. Yeah, in England we call it corn. But yeah, polenta. But I didn't know polenta before I became macrobiotic. I had no idea. Like corn for me, it was just like that corn that is just eat it when you're bored, or when you're a child, or when you're like 12 with your friends and you start eating that kind of snack, which is very crunchy. And also, popcorns at the cinema. That's all I knew about corn. But as usual, like macrobiotics opens up a whole new world for you. Yeah. So this is basically how you make the balls. Yeah, the croquettes. You can make them bigger, smaller, or whatever. Yeah, I'm going to show them because I made them today. So here we are. I've got them here. You know, can you see them?
They're beautiful.
Yeah, yeah. So these are already these have been in the oven already. The breaks. So sorry, bakes, and they're crunchy and nice. I haven't tasted them yet. Yeah, but my girlfriend has. She's lucky.
You put oil on the balls?
Say it again.
You put oil on the ball?
No.
Nothing?
No, I just coated them in the sesame seeds. I didn't add any oil. You could sprinkle some oil in on.
How long do you cook?
I baked them for 15 minutes on 170 degrees Celsius, which is about 180. Well, that would be 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah. So yeah, okay.
And you said
Okay.
you could add, I'm sorry.
Sorry?
You said you could add some maize to the outside, roll it in that. Is that right?
Yeah, polenta. I would coat them in polenta if instead of baking them, I wanted to deep fry them. Yeah, because polenta, for deep frying, is very useful, and the result is very crunchy. So if I wanted a real, you know, if I wanted my fat, you know, deep fried thing, and with that crunchy texture, I would coat them in polenta flour, and then they would go into the oil rather than the oven. Yeah. So the tofu mayo, isn't it? Okay. So here we are. We have the ingredients. Okay, so basically the tofu mayo is well, yeah, vegan mayonnaise, which comes in very handy for, I don't know, salads. I don't know, that tempeh, for example, this tempeh would be very good, you know, just to have that tofu mayo, and you use the tempeh to deep into. That would be very nice, very tasty. This looks like party cooking rather than plant-based cooking, but yeah, tempeh basically, and as well as seitan and tofu, you can use it in many different cooking styles. You can boil them, you can steam them, you can saute them, you can bake. Like, it's just like if you're a creative cook, you can find so many different ways to cook plant-based proteins. The important thing about plant-based proteins is it's not usually complete protein. Like it doesn't contain all the necessary essential amino acids. So, you know, unlike animal food, usually many different cultures around the world, what they do is mix cereal grains with legumes like beans, pulses, and then they get all 8 essential amino acids together. Because cereals, for example, cereal grains are very low in lysine, I think it is, but they're very rich in methionine, or is the other way around? I'm not sure right now. And then beans are very low in methionine, but very rich in lysine, which is one of the 8 essential amino acids. So you put them together, you combine them together. Then you get high value protein, high biological value proteins. That's the way you say it in English, I think. Okay, so the tofu mayo. you basically, what I do is I boil the tofu for about 10 minutes, just like boil it, to remove that kind of beany taste that it has. Okay, but basically afterwards you just have to crumble it, put them in a blender, vase or glass or whatever you call this, however you call that. And then we add the different ingredients that we have here. Yeah. I'm gonna put the other camera. Exactly, that's right. Okay, so we've got olive oil here, 4 spoons of olive oil, a teaspoon of mustard, pinch of salt, rice vinegar, like 1 teaspoon, and this is umeboshi vinegar. Umeboshi vinegar. I'll show you the well, I'm sure I don't know if you're familiar with these ingredients, but I'll show them to you now. And basically what we do is we just add them to the tofu and blend. Very simple. The umeboshi vinegar is going to give us acid taste as well as salty taste, because it's not actually a vinegar because it's the liquid that drips from the umeboshi, or the results from the umeboshi when they ferment. But it's not like rice vinegar, or I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm talking nonsense here.
There's
No,
a
you're
question.
you're saying the right thing.
I don't think umeboshi vinegar is actually a vinegar as such, like rice vinegar, or it hasn't underwent a whole fermentation process like rice vinegar, or you know what I mean?
Right.
Somebody
This
is. Go ahead, Mike.
First you.
Mike?
Go ahead, Clara.
I was
Go
just
ahead.
gonna read the question. Karen asked if your tofu is firm or silken.
It's firm. Yeah, it's firm tofu. Yeah, although with silken tofu, the result might be a little bit might be more creamy. Although if it's good quality tofu, if it's been, you know, if it's been made with nigari, you know, Japanese style, it should. We add the rice, the salt here. That's right. There you go. So now we just blend. It's gonna turn a little bit yellow.
Do you have some technical trick
Say it
that
again?
we're not hearing the noise of the machinery?
No, because my
Oh, the speaker on your microphone. I got
yeah.
it. Because I didn't hear the oil either. And when you put the food in, I thought it couldn't be hot because I didn't hear anything.
No,
Interesting.
maybe you hear it now.
A little.
Can you
Not
hear
even-
it now?
It's okay. I was just curious why. Now I know.
Yeah.
Could you show us the bottle of umabushi? Because it's very rare product.
Sorry.
The bottle of the umzu, the ume vinegar.
Ah, okay. Sorry. Yeah.
So that will help to clarify what you were saying.
Yes.
This is umeboshi vinegar. It says umesu because umesu is the Japanese name.
Right.
Yeah. Su means vinegar in Japanese. Yeah. And this is rice vinegar. Obviously, it's in Spanish, but in Japanese is genmai. Genmaisu would be rice vinegar. Yeah, in the same way as genmai miso, for example, is rice miso. Yeah. So I'm just going to add a little bit of water here, just for a creamier texture. Not much. And then you can rectify flavors. You can add more salt. You could add more umeboshi vinegar. Umeboshi vinegar I really, really like when I cook because it enhances flavors. It's a kind of flavor enhancer. Creamy enough, I think. Here we go. So I'm just going to put it here. That's in here. That's right. So here we go. That would be the seitan with the tofu nays. Sorry, not the seitan. This is the tempeh.
Does anybody know how to take a picture? I don't know how to take a picture.
Yeah.
No, Ginat usually does, and I don't know how that's done. Mike, you know how?
Yeah, let's see if we can get a shot of that.
I'll get the other camera for you.
Okay.
And the patties?
Yes. Here we go.
Wait, there, yes.
Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this. Right. So that would be.
I can't see the makeup so much. Ah, there, that's better. Yes.
Mayonnaise. Yeah.
That's wonderful.
It's quite creamy. Yeah. You could sprinkle some, some parsley on there. These are the
Croquettes.
the seitan croquettes, seitan rice croquettes.
Yeah, if you can hold just hold them up to the camera. That's it. Now down just a bit, a little bit more. There you go. Okay, and then now the
Croquettes.
The croquettes.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that good?
That's perfect.
Okay.
Thank you. Got them both.
You're welcome.
So can you finish the story how your parents got involved? They just saw you eat and they just wanted to eat what you ate?
Yeah. So basically, I was feeling terrible. Yeah, I had all sorts of different problems, and I had them for a long time, since I was really a child. So I went, a friend of my parents, actually it was my parents' advice, because it was a friend of my parents who told them, like, Ignacio should go to this therapist, to the psychologist. He's a friend of mine, he's very good, blah, blah, blah. So I went there and he suggested that I change my diet. And then I changed my diet. I got a lot better, improved my health, my emotional health. I improved in so many ways. It changed my life basically for the better. So my parents saw that, and I told my dad, because I knew that my dad was going to retire in a few years. and he was going to have a lot of problems, because he had stomach problems, he had digestive problems, he had not mental problems, but he would suffer from depression as well. And because of his character, I knew that he would retire and kind of he would just be institutionalized, if you get what I mean. Like, because when you go to doctors, you know, you tell a doctor, a regular doctor, doctor, I'm depressed. And the doctor, what he does is like give you pills. So I knew that my dad and my mom as well were going to be on pills, and so I tried to, you know, show them, you know, to prove to them that, well, not to prove, but just the way the change that I had undergone.
Yeah.
Sorry. He saw that, and then I asked them, like, go to this therapist, because this psychologist in Zaragoza, he sent me to another a Microbiotic Counselor, actually, which is more in the north of Spain, is near Basque Country. So I sent my parents there, where I had been before, and you know, there's medical center. They give you a weekly macrobiotic menu, you know, to address your issues. And then my dad improved dramatically. He, you know, he lost so much weight, but he felt as strong as ever. And my mom lost so many pounds, and you know, they just started to feel great, and so I was very happy, and they were very happy. But yeah, if I had, but the thing I think convinced my parents was the change I had undergone. If I hadn't undergone such a dramatic improvement, my parents wouldn't have been so convinced, because it was a huge change for them, you know, because they were already like 60, around their 60s, and you know, introduce changes like especially dietary changes and lifestyle changes, because my dad used to binge on sugar. He was a sugar addict, and you know, for him to quit sugar altogether was very, very difficult, but he had to. He did it.
It's
he
wonderful.
had to do it. Yeah. So
One other
that's
question.
basically my story.
Did the macro counselor tell you that what the psychologist had done was unprecedented in Western macro?
Yes.
Unprecedented. Yeah, that's a nice way of putting it. Yeah. It's difficult to change when you get old. When you get older, the older you get, I think the less willing you are to introduce changes, unless you're willing to give it a try and then see, you know, the improvement that you can experience.
That was huge.
It was huge. Yeah, it was huge, because my dad also was on antacids.
Yeah.
For the stomach, and he had been on antacids for 20 years.
Yeah.
And eventually we got rid of the antacids. So and that was incredible, because he suffered a lot. He would spend like whole nights like not sleeping a wink, you know, with terrible stomach aches, and you know, like stomach burn, heartburn. Yeah. But yeah, so there you go.
It's fantastic.
The outcome, and you had it right immediately, you know, that their outcome was highly doubtful if they were going to try to retire, and to be prescribed the Western style pharmaceuticals under those conditions.
Yeah.
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 And
that was my fear. That's what I was afraid of.
right.
Because they really give you no alternative, no natural remedies, no, it's just like a body is like a machine, and this part breaks down, needs fixing, but they don't look at the, this holistic view of the human being.
The whole world has to know. Oh, Anna's here. The whole world has to know who's his therapist, so more people could go to her.
Well, Clara, what the story indicates is that Spain is somehow very, very, very far advanced.
I think so.
In treating the elderly or those in late middle age who are borderline cases that will need to be committed for institutional care.
Yeah, that's horrible.
Yeah, it is really absolutely incredible, the story that Ignacio is telling us.
Yeah.
It's an absolutely incredible story.
Yeah. Unfortunately, alternative doctors, work in private medical centers, because in Spain we've got a national security, la seguridad social. So everybody, you can go to hospital and the treatment will be paid for, etc. So the medical treatment is, but the treatment you will receive is nowhere like nothing like macrobiotics. Or you go to the doctor will tell you nothing about nutrition. So you just go to the doctor with heartburn or depression or whatever. They will tell you nothing about nutrition. And my suspicion is they really don't know anything about nutrition. They don't study nutrition at university, doctors over here in Spain.
No, all over the world, sadly.
They only know how to prescribe pharmaceuticals.
Sad, very sad. Ginata, are you here?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
All right.
Tell me when to stop the recording.
So Ignacio, it's left only for us to thank you. We really appreciate
your presentation. You're welcome, Ginat.
Yeah. Thank you so very much.
Thank
So
you.
Clara, you can stop the recording.